This is a new Serbian N-PAP AK-47 style rifle from Century Arms, imported by Century Arms. They're Serbian made, also known as the Yugo M70 design. I've added a Midwest Industries gas tube and a cheap piece of crap red dot. We'll get to that in a second. But I just picked this up within the last week, and I kind of wanted to give a little quick synopsis of how it's been going. I have exactly 350 rounds through it today. I've had it for about 4 days, and I'll kind of get into how it's been going. But let me just give you some close-ups. I added this tape on here. I'll get into the reason for that. It comes with everything else. Everything is stock on here except for the rail, the gas tube, which I added. Cleaning rod, muzzle brake, front sight. These M-PAPs have the I don't think it's chrome lined. It's some sort of I don't know. Maybe it is chrome lined, but the bolt and carrier are chrome lined, or I don't think it's stainless steel, but it's some sort of silver color metal. I think it's chrome lining. Interesting thing about these, though, which has been said time and time again, is that they do not have a chrome lined barrel. They're cold hammer forged Serbian barrels, but apparently the factory over there does not make, it's a Zastava or Zastava factory, do not make chrome lined barrels, never have. So one thing you got to be careful on is these, if you use corrosive ammunition, you got to keep it clean. Other than that, you shouldn't have any problems. Chrome lining doesn't really do that much for you, other than make it so you really don't ever have to clean the barrel. And also, you do get typically a little better accuracy out of a non-chrome lined barrel. Whether that makes a difference in the AK, I don't know. I highly doubt. But anyway, so that's some close-ups. Okay, this is a TAPCO 20 rounder. Empty. The rifle is empty. See that? This thing was a little stiff from the get-go. It's smoothed up quite a bit now after 350 rounds. I'm sure it'll get even smoother as time goes. So why I chose the N-PAP over, say, a Wasser or a more expensive AK. This is my first AK, and I wanted to get into the platform relatively inexpensively, buy a lot of ammunition, practice with it a lot, shoot it, feel it out, and see if I want to add more AKs to my collection, go kind of the way I did with ARs, or if it's just something I'm not interested in at all, and move on. I mean, I'll keep this, but it was basically came down to this versus a Wasser 10, which is the Romanian AK. There's a lot of differences, one of them being this extra button here to take the dust cover off. Also, no tang on the rear buttstock. It's actually put on with a long bolt through the buttstock, which is these Yugos are the only ones that really do that. Different shape and length hand guards and gas tube as well. So standard AK furniture does not fit these. You have to get Yugo specific stuff, which is fairly limited. Also, the optics rail over here is unique to the Yugo, so you have to take that into account if you're going to put a aftermarket rail on there, or to put a scope on top of the desk cover. But I chose it because it's built better, in my opinion, than the Wassers. I handled both in the store, and by far, this N-PAP seems to be a more well put together rifle. This stuff is milled, like the gas block. This back here, I guess that's the rear sight block, or whatever. That stuff is milled, not cast. The barrel is heavier profile. The receiver feels just stronger. The wood seemed like a little bit better than the Wasser. I know it's probably exactly the same wood that Century puts on there, but it seemed better. Also, the bolt and carrier and everything seemed smoother. The rifle felt heavier, which they are a little heavier, which that just, to me, meant a little more stability. Oh, this is also a build part rather than cast on these, or so I'm told. I believe I see mill marks in there. Also, for the price the washers are going for right now is about 100 to 150 bucks more than these, so I felt like this was a good option. Okay, issues with the buttstock. All right, so the first day out, and literally after one magazine shot through this, the buttstock right here started to wobble. It was jiggling back and forth, and that's obviously a common issue with these. I took it home that night after shooting that day. Took this end plate off of here. There's a reason I have tape on there. Unscrewed the 2 screws here and here that hold that end plate on. And then took the big bolt out of the stock, thread locked it, put it back in there, and just torqued the shit out of it. So it's on there tight now, and I've been shooting 2 or 3 times since then. Like I said, it has 350 rounds through it now, and it hasn't budged. However, this end plate did start to, the screws that hold this is cheap wood. Let's just be honest, it's cheap shit wood. So it's like little wood screws that go into those, and it wouldn't tighten back down after taking that end plate off. It basically, they're just, they don't have any more bite left in them. So I put some wood glue type epoxy sealant inside there, in the holes, then screwed them back down with those wood screws, and put this gaff tape over the back of this for now, just to hold it secure. That thing's on there, it's not coming off, but eventually I'm going to switch this stock out, so no big deal. The gas tube. Midwest Industries is the maker of this railed gas tube. It's kind of an interesting little part. It just replaces your existing gas tube. It drops right in. There's really no fitment required. There's 2 little set screws right here to adjust the level and to make sure this latch will drop down over that and lock the gas tube in place. This nut on the end will adjust the length of the tube so that it fits your exact AK. Even though this is a Yugo and it's not, that part is made for the Yugo AKs. AKs vary, from one unit to another. There may be slight differences in length of different things. The distance between the gas tube and back here, the gas block and the I guess is that a rear sight block? I don't know the terminology, but maybe slightly different between models. Anyway, I'm new to AK, so forgive me if I use the wrong terminology. You tighten this down, and then you add a couple of set screws in the bottom of there with thread lock, and you're good to go. I had not realized and read the instructions all the way through the first time I took this out with that tube on it, and I didn't put the set screws in there, and that nut just backed off like every other shot, and this thing started to wobble. So came back home, took a look at it, and realized, oh yeah, there's set screws in the package too. Here's the packaging to that. AK railed gas tube for the Yugo N-PAPs. Comes with thread lock and everything you need. So that was a lesson learned. I stuck the set screws in there, thread locked them, and today, no problems. That gas tube is not going anywhere. And okay, so this brings me to this red dot. This thing here. All right, there's the box for the red dot. Some may have heard of this before. It is a sort of well-known cheap shit micro red dot that's on the market. And actually, for the price, I have to say it's not bad at all. It is not bad. It's $20. It was $21 shipped. And it's got a known issue. Inside of here, or underneath the battery, where you can unscrew the actual thing that holds the circuit board down, and behind that, the screws that hold this wheel and that circuit board down to the site are shit. They don't come from the factory thread locked, and they're garbage. And I knew that going in. People have said that. There's reviews on this all about that. If you shoot on a 22 or something like that, it's no problem. But if you step up to anything with a little bit of recoil, it's gonna just rattle those things loose very quick. So I decided to see how many shots it would take before this red dot actually started to go to crap. And it was about 100 rounds of 7.62, and this wheel became loose and the dot started to flicker. So I came home, I took that off, took it all apart, applied thread lock, put it all back together. It's tight now. It's tight. This wheel is nice and positive, and it works just fine. I went to the range today. I've been out 2 more times since I did that, and I've zeroed it. It's held zero, and it actually works. The only issue I have right now is, as of today, it's developed an issue where actually 1 is the off position. Even though I took really good care to align the circuit board correctly inside there when putting it back together, which is what you have to do. Now after shooting today, even though it still has real good positive clicks, 1 is now off. So anyway, and 0 is basically full power. See if you can actually see that in there at all. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get this thing low enough to look in there. But anyway, so suffice to say 1's off. Anyway, that's the Field Sport micro dot. I mean, you know, if all you had is $20 and you wanted a micro red dot and you don't mind having to take it apart, you know, re-thread lock stuff and all that, I'd say buy it. You know, if you're really on a tight budget. I only bought it just because I've seen a lot of YouTube videos on it, and I just kind of wanted to see how it did on the AK. I have a primary arms advanced micro dot en route for this AK, but want to see how that little thing did. And yeah, it's a piece of crap, but I'm impressed. It's actually a pretty decent piece of crap that works. Like I said, it's holding 0. I zeroed it a couple days ago. I re-zeroed it on paper today and shot 100 rounds today, and it held 0. And I was hitting the target. I had it zeroed at 25 meters, and it's also on. I don't know anything about AK ballistics, but I assume that 25 meter gives you also a 0 at 250, because that's exactly where I was hitting. The steel gong was right on that dot at 250, and it's also right on at 25 yards. So, or actually, I think it's meters, or I think it was actually yards. Sorry, can't remember how that range is set up. It's yards. So yeah, 250 and 25, and it's right on the money right now. Holding 0, no problems. It's a piece of crap. I'm gonna take it off as soon as I can and put the good one on there, but no issues. So anyway, back to the rifle. Other than the buttstock being a problem, there's been no issues, and I don't foresee that being an issue anymore. It's on there really tight. The only other thing I know that has a tendency to happen on these, I guess, is this could back out. This spring tension button that's the extra part that holds the dust cover on. And actually, it's just an additional dust cover holder inner to make up a term. This is actually the back of the recoil spring guide, and that is what typically holds your dust cover on in an AK. But that won't move on this one forward without having this button pressed from the other side. And that's just the way these N-PAPs work. The reason being, I have read online, is that these were originally designed to have grenade launchers on them. And so the ones that had the grenade launchers had to have an extra lock for the dust cover so that that was more secure, I guess. Don't know why. Like I said, I'm not an AK guy. I'm learning as I go. But I'm having fun with it. It shoots great. It's pretty accurate. I shot 2 times today. I put a 10-shot group in an inch and a half at 25 yards. Okay, so yeah, I know it's 25 yards, and so that translates into what, 6 MOA. But that's 10 shots. That's crappy wolf ammo. That's a shitty red dot, and that's also an AK. You know, it's not built to be sub MOA gun. They're just not. You're not going to get that out of them. So anyway, I'm happy with it. It's reliable as all get out. No issues at all in 350 rounds. I don't anticipate there being any issues at all with it. It has cycled every round that's been put in it. It has worked with every magazine I have, which I have one Croatian steel mag, 3 or 4 Magpul 30-round P mags, and about 14 or 15 Tapco magazines. All of them work fine. All of them lock positively, and everything's been great. So, like I say, Serbian N-PAP, and the price on these is just out of this world right now. $500 out the door for this, with some extra magazines. So, you know what? If you're looking for a recommendation for a new AK, and you're new to the, like for an entry-level AK, and you're new to the platform, I wholly recommend the N-PAP. You know, if you want to dress up your AK and add a lot of features to it and do all sorts of cool stuff to it, and you're also on a budget, get a Wasser. Totally, get a Wasser. Or if you are really wanting to get into the AKs as like good as you can and go high end and get a good quality one, then just get an Arsenal or something either you can go really high if you go to those specialty companies like Krebs and Rifle Dynamics. But the Arsenal's Bulgarian imported rifles, they're really good. They're high quality, and from what I've read, and the only ones I would stay away from, based on my YouTubing and internet research, I'm just spouting off what I've heard other people say, is that the American-made ones, like the RAS-47s, C-39V2s, there may be some other, IO, just stay away from those. They're not good. Stick to the Com Block, Eastern European companies' imported AKs. Even these ones that are 922 are compliant, that have American parts in them and are imported by Century Arms. I think that you're better off with something like that in the long run. It's just going to last. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye. Okay, so this is extra. This is a giveaway. I had this idea while I was editing this video to give away the Field Sport Micro Red Dot. What the hell? I see other people do that on YouTube. I'll do it. Here it is. I just took it off the AK. I'll let you look through it here. You can see it works. It's on 1, which is actually off. So 2 is, oh actually, let's go back to 0, which would be the 10 power. So that's the brightest setting right there. Goes down from there. It works, goes through all the settings. It's a 4 MOA dot. It works. This thing's holding together just fine. I can't guarantee it'll stay working, but it seems to be working just fine right now. It even has the original battery with some sort of Chinese writing on it. I stuck a Sony battery in it. That's what's inside there, so it should at least last for a while on that battery. I have to suspect this battery won't last. Manual, tool to put it back together, scope cap, look at that, and a box, everything new just like from factory, little microfiber cloth, all that for free. I'll pay for shipping. All you have to do is in the comment section, when you watch the video, put a number in, just a number, between 1 and, say, 200. I'm sure I won't get very many people. Let's do this for 1 week. So 1 week from today will be next Wednesday. I don't remember the date on that, but anyway, it's a date from this upload of this video, a week from that. And we'll draw, I'll get on here, I'll make a video, we'll do a random number generator from 1 to 200, or from 0 to 200. Yeah, 1 to 200. Online, and I'll do a random draw, and whoever gets closest to that number will get this Field Sport Red Dot. I just have to, we'll have to get in touch somehow and get me your address so we can send it to you. Or I can send it to you. We, like I'm a big company or something. All right, so that's my idea for a giveaway. I figure why not, you know, I'm not going to use this thing. Somebody else might be able to enjoy it. You know, there you go. So that's the deal. Put a comment in the box of a number between 1 and 200, and then a week from today, I'll do a video. We'll do a random draw of the numbers, whoever gets closest. If 2 people are tied, then we'll do some sort of a tiebreaker and figure out. So there you go. All right. Thanks for watching.